pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all gang, so don't be talking sideways.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. They go play action here on first down. Incomplete to open things up. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Tight right. Now let's go. Green, 39.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. We take a glance now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh. And they're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
And this is where we talk game inside the game. Top 5 passing offense versus top 5 passing defense. I wouldn't be surprised defensively if they change up coverages a bit more than usual to try and combat what they expect to see.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. And that will be incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep, Antonio Brown. This is taken at the 23. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run from both outside and moving inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
The 20. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Their mobile, agile quarterback, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
On first, they go right back to Collins. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, here we go. Blue line.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Trying to drop one in, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, T.J. Watt, there on the coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
All right, here we go. Blue line. Blue line.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Kennedy. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just one throw.
Now let's go.
Here's a first down run with Collins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that.
Hey, you got 3. Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Set, 3-19.
From the gun, Jackson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play, and it'll be fourth down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. With it is Brown. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The drive will start with Connor. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out.
Now let's go.
Gonzalez now. Off play action. Room to run past midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Back to throw. Gonzalez. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Gonzalez. Throwing again. And that's complete to Jesse James. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there at 22. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
You got 4. Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Gonzalez now looking to throw on 2nd down. And the Steelers are in for the touchdown. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Boswell for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make the score 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. His throw incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Collins. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. A big reason why they've been so successful, this defense hasn't been able to contain him when he gets outside of the pocket.
So true, and that's when it's really difficult because defensively you can have a game plan and try to account for all the things you've seen on tape, the way that they run their plays, even his running. But when it's a play where you just can't really say, okay, that's how the play's supposed to go, what they call broken plays, that's when the X and O doesn't work. That's when their Jimmy is better than your Joe.
And he'll work his way forward up to the 22. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute. But first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And it's the Packers who have the lead in that one. Cole Beasley, a touchdown reception. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. 2 touchdown passes there for Deshaun Watson. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Marvin Jones, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Gonzalez back to the air on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Now Gonzalez operating from the gun. On the crossing route, complete. It's Connor. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. 3 and 8.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Gonzalez. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go.
On 3rd down. That's Connor, and he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
Gonzalez on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's James. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. He got 29 yards that time.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Second and goal from the 1.
Now let's go.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility. Ability exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
Green 39! Green 39!
Here's Gonzalez. Gonna throw on 3rd and goal. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. It's their quarterback with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
So that one, a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it 2nd down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On 2nd down, Jackson. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now Jackson on 1st down. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
It finds Crabtree for the completion. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another 1st down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He gets it to Humphries. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw again. Drops it underneath for Collins. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. To throw again is Jackson. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And the Steelers set to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Pittsburgh, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to New England to take on the Patriots. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seahawks. I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.